So I am going to show you how I edit a May session gallery. I am in Bridge right now, so I do all my culling and all my image organization is in Bridge. Um, so what I have done is what you're looking at is the soft proof gallery. So I slightly edited it, and then they pick their images that they want. So there's 3 stars. So I went through and I started them by 3 for the images that the clients have picked, and I added a to edit folder. And then I'm just going to add all of, oopsies, I'm going to add all of these in to this folder. And we're in Lightroom, and I am going to edit them. Okay, so they have a soft proof preset on them right now. I'm just gonna, for the sake of this editing video, I'm gonna reset it. Okay. We're gonna go to presets, and this is the preset that I built off of. The original was this Masks and Laughs preset, and it's a nice preset. It's based on film, so I do love it. But I was making the same changes over and over and over. I was got distracted by those nice, beautiful presets. I was making the same changes over and over again, and so I just saved a new preset based off of the preset I already had. So we're gonna go ahead and mask it before I sync everything. So I'm selecting the subject. I do this to every image. I select the subject, and I have a preset for that too. It's called my people preset, and just like adds a little bit of brightness to them, a little contrast, turns down the highlights a tiny bit in the blacks, and then it adds a smidge saturation and clarity somewhere there. Clarity. So that's what I do for all of my images, and this is kind of where we start off with. So let's go ahead and sync this up. I want to sync. Check all. All right, let's go. So it's going to sync all of these images with the same exact settings, and then I will go through and fix it from there. And I probably already said this in this video, but I don't usually use Lightroom, so I usually use ACR, Adobe Camera Raw. So if I get lost and am fumbling around looking for something, that's why. It's just not my usual place to hang out. All right, so I like to look at this film strip a lot, especially once edits start happening. I can already tell you right now that this was too bright. This is a too bright image. So right now I'm actually only looking at the background. So I am editing for the background of my image right now because I have everything separated, because I have the subject selected. And I'm going to warm it up a smidge. Maybe a lot. Maybe I'm warming it up a lot. Okay. We're working here. Okay. All right. That is maybe it's a little too bright. Everything. Okay, that's good. I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. And I'm going to go ahead and just sync this all up. And I think I only changed the exposure and the contrast. So sync. All right. Now I have less to do on all of these, right? I'm going to use the same light, so it's generally going to be really, really close. I'm going to have to go through and make a few tweaks. I usually do my cropping at the end, unless something's just really bothering me. Then I'll go through and do it now. Right, way too bright. But again, I'm looking at the background and less so at my people. Holy guacamole. One, that definitely needs to be cropped or straightened up a little bit and brought in. Nope. Okay. Lower. Looking at the background, less at the people. Also, we're looking at a smidge green here. Lovely. Do we have two of the same image, or are those just like really similar? Just what? All right, people. It's interesting that sometimes they pick like the same image. Or was it just white balance? Let's synchronize that. Seems a little excessive just to do it for. Okay, that was a lot better. Okay. And I want to make this image different than this one. I don't want it to be the exact same. Take a good child. He tucked his hand into the thing. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna crop it up a little bit more. And actually, I don't want this one to be quite so dark. It feels a little darker than the other one does. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. And this one I can tell you right now is green. Green, 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 green. So we're gonna go over here. Oh, that's better. Already better. I don't know what he's doing. These kids are silly. Bump that green. Fix this crop a little bit. Cropping the feet off, and I don't like cropping right there, so I'm gonna go. Usually you try not to crop like at a knee or something, but there, if I crop up, then it's her knee. So, and then I'm like cropping her skirt. So, you know what? Rules are rules, but I'm gonna do what I feel like doing anyway. So that's nice. All right, and then it gives them like a completely different look to their image too, because those are pretty similar. I think all of these might need to like come up on the greens a little bit. Okay. These are going to be really important for them to look similar because they probably would print them off on their wall, and you want them to kind of look cohesive. So this is really important ones to have matching. Cropping both the top and the bottom. So I'm looking at this line right here. I kind of want them to go all across. So let's say that they ended up printing them as like a trio and they're all side by side. I want that line to kind of go across all of them. So, be thinking about things like this whenever you're editing them, especially, and you can give them tips and pointers on like, hey, this would be a really great one to print all together. So let's see, his is up a little higher. You can't get everything perfect though, right? So if I really wanted to be, he's also shorter, so that's probably a little bit of the reason why. I want it to go. More importantly than those lines matching up though is that they kind of look similar and they look pretty good there. Okay, I think. Looking at the background, less of the people. I think the contrast on this one though is too much. Okay. Turn on that contrast again. Looking at the background, less of the people. Okay, it's kind of a hard thing to do. Turn your eyes to look at the background and not the person, obviously, because that's where we want to look, is the people. Way too bright. Way too green. Looking, background. Okay. And also, dang, contrast. Right, his face is really bright. I know that, so it's something I'm gonna want to fix. And let's go back and look. Okay, so I'm comparing this image. It's only a 15-minute difference. It's only a 15-minute session, so they should really be super similar. So this image and this image, something slightly off with it, and I think it's the tent. That's probably gonna be better. Oh, look at this. So this right here is showing me was the original soft proof that I had uploaded. So I like to compare them to make sure I at least make changes that look better than where I was. I don't need no resets anymore. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's just kind of like change all of them. I could sync these. I'm gonna sync, and I'm just doing white balance. I am. Okay, this is good. All right, so now I'm going to move on to my masking, my selective masks, selective edits, I guess, if you would. All right, I don't need it anymore. All right, for now at least. Okay. Actually, this looks. The only thing that's bothering me on this is maybe his head. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come over here because his head's like behind there's like a sun flare, sun haze going on here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a linear gradient, and I'm gonna do it like that. Oh, bring down a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to lower the exposure and probably the blacks a little bit. Bring his head back into the picture, and I'm gonna add a little dehaze. So I don't love what it's doing to this tree up here. So what I can do is subtract, select the sky. Oh, I meant to, that is not what I meant to do. That was opposite of what I meant to do. Let's see if I can invert that now. Not invert. Okay, let's see what's happening here. Okay. So I inverted it, so I took it off of the tree more or less. And it should still be, hey, are you gonna let me, oh, you won't let me change it anymore. Dag But anyways, it's still in his head. That's the part that I was really caring about the most. I could have also gone and like just, I can unbrush that a little bit because I don't really care about this guy. You know what? We're gonna do this a different way. We're just gonna delete, no, I just want to delete this one mask. Yeah, delete this mask, and we're gonna do it because I'm not gonna save anything with this guy. This guy's already too like bright to save anything. So I'm going to do a radial gradient. Usually that linear gradient works. It does the trick for what I was trying to do, but not today, sister. Okay, so do it again. Lower the exposure because I'm just trying to. It's just his head, that's bothering me. And a little bit of dehaze. Okay. Also, and I don't even want it to be fully on his head because I don't want it to be too like dark. There you go. So that's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to do it to any image that needs it if there are more that needs it. So I'm going to copy the settings, just mask 2, not you, copy, and then I'm going to pop on over to the other images and see if they need it. We're moving slow tonight. We are moving slow. Okay. Nope, we're good there. See, that's why I didn't want to go too dark because then it would like take out a little bit of his grace. And I want to keep that natural. This. Okay, his face is a little dark compared to hers, so I know that I'm going to want to put a mask on that a little bit. So I'm making a mental note of that. Okay, his head's not getting washed out or anything. Okay, so that was the only one that really needed it. Great, good to know. All right, so now I'm going to go through, and what was that second one that I said? I want to lighten his face, so we're going to do another radial gradient, and I actually have a preset for lightning. You can save brush presets, make your own brush presets, which is cool. So you don't have to always buy presets. So I usually, this one's a little too bright, so I'm turn it down a little bit, and that makes me happy. I am going to save that setting in case there's any other ones that I need to put it on. So copy that. I'm gonna go look and see if there's anything on the images that are too dark and that I want to do that same setting on. I'm guessing this one, probably, yeah. Yep, okay. I'm pretty sure none of those wanted it. This one, he just looks like almost like too blue compared to them, I guess. So what I'm gonna do, and maybe a little dark. So what I'm gonna do is take this, put it over here. I copied and pasted. Sorry, Controls, Shift, Command V. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because I need it that bright, and then we're gonna warm his face up. And let me go back and show you settings, paste settings if you do undo, but on the Mac it's Shift Command V. Okay, so there, it looks better now. Okay, I think all those were fine. This looks better. Okay, there you go. Like something wasn't right there. Okay, so no other ones. I was thinking that maybe Sister was going to need it with the hat on, but nice and light face. Okay. Something like their skin is really pale compared to their clothes. I know they're wearing darker clothes, so that's part of the reason why. And also, I never turned the saturation down on this one. All right, so I probably don't want them to be too washed out, right? But I like the background. I don't want to change any of the background, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here to my subject that I selected, and let's see what happens when I turn these highlights down a little bit. That looks nice. Okay, and maybe I want to bump up what's up here. Okay, that's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, we're gonna sync those up because I'm gonna change it to all of them. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's make sure it did it. All right, they actually look a little too dark on this one though, so that was a little too much. A little too much. There we go. That one's good, that one's good. Let's see if any other ones need it. Okay, with that. That'll be frozen. Yep, I knew that contrast was too high. Okay. Forgot. I should have just synced all this up and done the lower contrast, but you live and learn. Okay, I think I want to boop, 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 boop. Okay, I can go back and forth all day on these. So, what I wanted to show you now is I wanted to check on chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration is this, whoa, hello, this line right there. You see that? It happens when you are shooting with a wide open aperture, and especially when the sun comes through your lens. This is not bad. I've had some really bad chromatic aberration. So what you would do to fix that, if it happens, is you're gonna go to lens corrections. Okay, you can click remove chromatic aberration, but it only goes you so far. I wonder if it was worse before that. Yeah, it was worse. Okay, So manual, I'm gonna go to the defringe tool. So I'm clicking this dropper right there, and I'm gonna get into the worst part, and I'm gonna click it, and it takes it away. It's not very noticeable in this one because it's not. Oh, I forgot. I forgot he has a black eye, so we're gonna have to go and fix that. Oh, I completely forgot about that. So I'm gonna go check and see if there's any other ones that need some chromatic aberration taken care of. I'm glad I zoomed in because I did not even notice that. Um, don't do jujitsu right before family photos. Make sure no one else has chromatic aberration going on. I hate every time I change to a new image, it like does that weird look. So I'm looking for the ones that have like that are, with the sun behind it. This is not a bad one because the sun's kind of down. It's like my last session of the day. I mean, there's just a tiny bit here. So I could see if, no, it won't even let me. It's not even enough for it to care. Okay. It's just so slight. Anyways, so chromatic aberration's good, but I just remember Dad has a black eye, so we're gonna go and fix that. I told Mom I would try. I am not about to brush this because I'm not about to brush it. I'm not about to like clone anything like this. So what we're gonna do, this is just ridiculous, is we are going to, I think I'm gonna do it with a radial gradient, and it's gonna be a very minute, tiny thing that we're doing. And okay, so what color? So I might need like, so it looks a little bit brownish gray, so we're probably gonna need to go over here. Oh, it's so hard to do when you're this zoomed in. Okay, added a little bit of orange, and I'm thinking I'm gonna add a little bit of pink because these are usually green. And then I'm gonna take the shadow up. Oh, too much, too much, too much. I can see the line where the doodad is. So, I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit. Okay, maybe we're gonna go a little warmer. Let's see what happens if I go a little warmer. No, it's very obvious I'm going warmer. Oh, pop. Okay. I need to see. Oh man, where'd my little thing go? There it is. Honestly, I don't think I'm even making it any better, but it's not super noticeable. So we're going to see what happens. I'm going to copy these settings, just mask to copy. Really just kind of looks like a line, right? Like you can tell that's a bruise, and this kind of like just looks like a really deep line maybe. Oh, that one's bad. Okay, so we're gonna copy and paste the setting here. Oh, it's gonna go into a completely different place. Hold on. Where's you at? Where's you at? Is that it down there? It's all the way down here. Oopsies. Ugh, it's so tiny. It's hard to work with. It's so tiny. Oopsies. Okay, well, maybe making it bigger. I'm gonna actually copy. It's that mask. Okay, I'm gonna copy it while it's bigger so it's easier for me to mess with. Because that was too tiny. Ah! Zoom in! People think that we can just like edit anything. I mean, I guess like there are some people who could really like edit that out, but I am not gonna do that to 15 images. I'm not gonna go and like brush 15 images, and clone stamp and all that. I think raising the shadows up really helped a lot there. Okay. I think it's an improvement. Okay. And you can even tell from back here. Paste it. There it is right there. Let's see, it changed the shirt color. Okay. do my best just to meet it in the middle so I don't have to move it. Night. Beautiful, it's too small. Okay. Alright. Is that better? Yeah. Alright, thank goodness he's not in every image though. Holy cow. Alright. Ooh, look at that. Caught some mild, only a tiny bit of chromatic. It's not even gonna change anything probably. Okay. Caught some I was talking about chromatic evolution if I didn't finish my words there. It's over here, over there. Zoom in too much. Get over there. My computer's starting to move a little slower now because it's getting tired. Just like me. Might have been easier just to brush this instead of doing a circle or radio filter, but you know what? We did what we did. Okay. Alright, and then that one. I think it's the only other one he's in. I mean, it could have been worse, honestly. I could have been worse at it. Oh my gosh. Can I zoom in? I can only zoom in right here for some reason. It won't let me move around. Hand. Come on, hand. Nope, that wasn't it. Okay, why can't I move around? There we go. Wow, I'm really close to your face right now. Okay, back to this. Oh my gosh, there we go. Driving me crazy. Alright. And I'll call that good. I don't know about you. Alright, so typically I would take a break and I would come back later and recheck it, but honestly, I'm pretty confident in the overall look of this because I've added several other mini sessions on this day, so I just kind of remember, what the overall look was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of these and then I bring it into Photoshop, which I cannot remember how to do that. Is that export? Okay, I'll be back. Oh, okay, figured it out. Like I said, I do not edit in Lightroom very often, so I don't know where all the settings is. I don't know what that means. Might have been important. I'm gonna open it into Photoshop. And what I do in Photoshop is I'm gonna fix any flyaway hairs, any blemishes. I don't like using Lightroom Heal for sure. Oh, is this the only image you're gonna open for me? It didn't open all of them. Son of a gun. I want all of them open. I know there's a way to do that. There we go. Figured it out. Flyaway hairs, blemishes, if I wanted to go so far as to edit his black eye out, I would do that, but I am not going to. There is like a pole, I think, in the background of some of these I might need to get out of there. Yeah, that pole back there, I want to get that out. And I'll show you how I automate save everything from here too. All right, we are open. All right, so I like to use the spot healing brush tool. It's my best friend, so I use it pretty much for everything. Boom, gone. Because you just nibble up. Sometimes they don't like that, and so I just want to get it gone for them. I like the spot healing because you just don't have to do a whole lot of work to get it gone. Easy peasy. See a little bit there. Lemon squeezy, right? Okay, I did not see anything else that I wanted to edit. So now what I do is I bring everything in through Portraiture. I have a command for Portraiture. It says Command P. I've set that up. Um, I think though it would go under plugin. No, actually, I don't even remember how to get to it. So there you go. Okay, and I have certain settings. Certain settings for my portraiture, and I really don't touch it at all. Normally, I have smoothing was set to medium. I think it's or normal. It probably was set to normal. Um, and so I just kind of leave that there. Actually, let me double check that. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, yeah, it was normal. And then I turned it down a little bit, so I guess if it could even go up a little bit. That might have been too much, probably why I turned it down, because it was too smooth. So just leave that there. And then this one, you take the dropper tool and you select their skin, like your skin tones. And there used to be a way that you could add more to it, but oh yes, you add. I think you can get more on it, but I don't want too much of it. I just want like just. I usually pick the mid tone on their skin, and you can see what's selected. This is selected, so if you're a very warm shooter, it's going to select a lot more, and then you can kind of play with this down here. But the this is kind of where I live, and I do not want to mess with it, so I'll leave it there, and that's all I do. And then okay, and I always like to make a background copy. I'll show you that in a second. This might have even helped the black guy. Let's see. I'll show you kind of what the portraiture does. So that's before, that's with. It just kind of like smooths everything out. Hello. And then I'm just going to go and apply that on every image. But like I said, I have my, oopsies, don't need to do it again. My command, and I set it up, and it's always the same. And I've already selected their skin tone from earlier, and so it's really just going to stay there. And all I have to do is Control P, Control P, Control P, because that's the command that I set with it. You'd have to set your own command to do a key command. P for portraiture is what I picked. I don't ever use Command P for print, so it just was a no-brainer for me to do that. And I just like the polish that it gives an image. But otherwise, you have to do it like by hand, like click the button up there if you didn't have a command for it. So you have to make your own command in Photoshop. And my portraiture is a very light touch. I don't overdo it personally. It's like some people like a heavy hand on this, and that's cool. All right, so that is I've applied portraiture, so that's the final thing. I've gone through and edited everything, and then you go to save it. You go to File, Scripts, Image Processor, save as JPEG. You can save it in the same location. I have a special folder for it. You can resize it if you wanted to convert to sRGB. It's just a color profile. And run. And saving them all for me, and you're going to see them. So this is the folder that they were in. You're going to see them right there. Ta-da! Are you thinking about it? Okay, it should be done. Let's look. There. Okay. All images are easy peasy, so I don't know why people say like Photoshop doesn't do things it does. Okay. And then I turn every image into black and white, and I have an action saved for that. It's called actions in Photoshop, not presets. Merge all my images together. I have an action to merge all my images together. And then automate batch. These are my actions I have already preset. I didn't go into that though. This is my black and white action that I use. And let's see. I think I want to add some contrast. So automate batch, and I'm going to add contrast. Okay, so the funny thing about this is that this one's not going to do anything because there was some weird update, and so I had to make it twice because to create action, it's just like you're recording a set of steps that you do on Photoshop, and I couldn't just add contrast without it's a lot, whatever. Anyway, so I have to do it twice to actually get the contrast. So I don't know actually. I usually like heavy contrast, so I'm probably just gonna do it on black and white at least. Yeah, I don't know. It's actually a really hard decision on this one. Usually it's an easy decision. Yeah. We're gonna go with it. Okay, so I've applied the action to everything. My black and white images are now in black and white. Going to scripts, image processor, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. Just gonna save them all as black and white. Come over here to bridge, and it's just duplicating everything. So the last thing that I do once they're all saved, oh yeah, okay, file, close all. Oh yeah, it's saved. Okay, make sure. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to sort by date modified here, so that way all my color images are on top and all my black and white ones are on bottom. And I am going to rename them. I'm going to batch rename tools, batch rename. Ta-da! And that is how I export and upload the images to share. Now there's one more thing that you guys had mentioned wanting to see, and that was applying this HSL slider thing here. Where were you? Color mixer. So if you wanted to change all the colors and all of your things here, which I didn't necessarily want to do personally, but let's just say, let's, for the sake of this video, turn their skin to orange, okay? So what you, and let's say this was like a perfect white balance, you're like, this is what I want, but you're like, oh, their skin's too orange. You're gonna go to color mixer here, and we're gonna click on saturation. We're gonna click on this little bullseye thing here, and we're gonna go pick a nice orangey skin area right there. So this one's, usually it's in the shadows. All right, so I'm in the shadow. You can see over here that this was highlighted when I was over there. Okay, that's the one that it's working with the most. And you're gonna slide it up if you want to make them really orange and look like Oompa Loompas, or down to kind of calm down that orangeness in their skin. And you can see also that it is moving the yellow as well. So that's what I like about the dropper, is that you're not just taking this orange and sliding around and then messing with this. It's telling you exactly what color it needs to be working with, and it does it for you. So obviously orange is the most potent color and yellow is the next most potent color. So that's why it's pulling that. So, I mean, now they're less orange, right? I mean, the image is warm, but they're not orange. I don't love it, but for the sake of showing you that. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is when you are struggling with skin tone. One, I think that sometimes we just kind of like over uh, think things, but so keep your eye right here, not, it's going to change, okay? So right there, see those numbers? It is, why are there two numbers right now? Whatever. See how that changes? So I'm hovering over, those are the RGB numbers. So you always want to make sure red is the highest number, green is in the middle, and blue is the lowest number. And then you want at least like a at least a 2% spread on everything. So you can see the red says 81.2, green says 79.0, and blue says 78.6. Okay, so green and blue don't have much of a spread. That means they're a little too close. And that means that the colors, the closer the numbers get together, the grayer everything looks. And honestly, we're on the verge between red and green, red and green being too close. So that's telling me that our skin tones are not good. Now, if I come over here, oh, that's why, maybe that's why. So let's turn this back down a little bit. Now what? Oh, you know what? I do not want that. That's not what I meant to do. Oop, whoop. There we go. Okay, we're in full screen now. I guess I could have been in there the whole time. Okay, so, where was I? Oh yeah, here. So let's zoom in on there. All right, and now at least green and blue are a little bit further apart, and red and green are, they're 3 points apart, but still really close. And I know the reason why is because of this. We turn that down so much. Oh, I guess I could just do it like this again. Okay. Bring back some saturation here. Oh, I'm in the reds now. Bring back some saturation. There we go. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, there. Okay. 82, 78. Now we have a 4 point spread and a 4 point spread with blue. So we're looking a lot better in that, right? So before we were within 2 points for everything, so that means everything is like a little dull, a little gray. And then if I'll show you, we'll go a little bit more crazy. All right, let's do that. And then I know this does not look good. Okay. Oh, where was it? Okay. Hang out here. Okay. 82, 70. Actually, still pretty same. We didn't go. Oh, yes, because we're not over here. So I'm like on a nice like highlighted area. But if you go over here, now we're seeing some differences, right? Because we're in like a more saturated area. So the farther apart these numbers are getting, it's more kind of saturated. But then the closer these numbers get, right here, see when they're all like really similar to each other, that is a gray, right? Let's just go ahead and for the sake of this turn red down too. So they're all like pretty much the same number, so they're gray. Yeah, I bet if we turn blue down, it would go away too. So kind of all within this, the closer the numbers together, the more gray everything is, and the farther apart, the more saturated it is. So let's look at this. Really far apart, right? Let's get this back to like, oh, I forgot about these down here too. Duh. Okay. Anyways, so, oh, and then you would go through and you would click sync, and you would sync the color mixer, not necessarily point color, but color mixer. Sync it. I'm not going to do it because I ruined this image. I'm going to reset. Whatever. I'm done. I've edited it all. Okay. So that is that. Let me know if you have any questions.